Fran Bow, it's a lot of my own journey. Wait, my dog woke up here. Stay with your damn feeling. 1995 or something. Nobody can say anything
Yes,
about.
yeah, that's the spirit, right? Welcome to Enigma podcast. This is the show where we will dive deep into the world of creativity and explore the creative journeys of artists, creators, and writers. Yeah, so I am your host, Diana, who is the lyricist of the musical band philo. And joining us today is a truly special guest, Natalia Martinsson, who is the co-founder of Killmonday Games, who created such amazing games as Fran Bow and Little Misfortune.
Their voice?
Yes, Misfortune?
Has anyone reached the end of the game and gotten the eternal happiness?
Yes, of course.
You know, I want to win this prize for my mommy.
And my 14-year-old and 24-year-old self are freaking out right now because I'm a really big fan. You're my role model, and could you please introduce yourself, Natalia, for us?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that was a pretty good introduction already.
Thank you.
So I'm the creative director at the moment at Killmonday Games, and I'm just very creative. I do from the writing to the art and everything in between. So yeah, and I love games. I love the creative space that you have with games in themselves. So yeah, and I've been working in this about more than 10 years now. So it feels a bit crazy to look back, but it's amazing, and I'm very, very proud that what we have achieved until now.
Yeah, so you're an all-rounder. You do everything, writing, creating, the ideas. Yeah, that's amazing. And could you please tell us a bit about the start of your creative journey? Maybe do you remember the first art or maybe the first poem that you wrote?
Whoa, that was a long time ago. I think I started to draw when I was very, very young. Like, I didn't have really like the tools at home, so I would grab just a book and start doodling on it. Like that early. But then I became a lot more, into that when I started when I got my first computer, or it wasn't my computer but the home's computer, and I started to exercise a lot of art on paint. Back then it was like 1995 or something. and I started to draw with the mouse and all, and I felt like it was such a cool thing to be able to just have this computer and start drawing. So I started the digital world very early on also. And of course painting with everything else that I had in my hands. And a little bit later, the writing became also quite early. I remember I wrote when I was 7. I entered a little competition and I made my first story. It was about a little elephant.
Oh, that's great. So sweet.
But that also just kept growing, and anytime I had the opportunity at school to write a play or anything of the sort, I was very into it. So I made even a theater play about cells in the body, everything would be turned into something visual and to express something more, with the entire body and the acting and all that. So it feels like creativity for me hasn't really been just one thing. It always has been a connection about different tools, different ways of expressing yourself. So yeah, I started quite early with no guidance whatsoever. It was mostly play, So I have that relationship with creativity, which is just be very curious about stuff and then just go for it, even if it could be a mediocre thing, it matters, you know.
Yeah, because
It was more about the journey in itself and creating something.
yeah, because creativity it just surrounds us, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And can you share your experiences as a woman in the game industry? How was it? And maybe what unique challenges have you faced, and how have they shaped your journey?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge has been to find, the inspiration, because sometimes we need somebody to look up to, right? To understand that, oh, if somebody else made it, it can happen, you know? And so that was kind of the most difficult, because when I started to make games with Isaac, we didn't really have any kind of connections. We were completely in the dark. But with time opening up and such, you really find a lot of people out there. And since our stories, it's more connected to the self journey and creating from the beginning, like I said, a little bit from the dark and not having connections. I didn't really felt this, that it was some kind of stop for me, you know, because like I also mentioned earlier, for me, the creative is about just doing and being very playful. But I have found a lot of other people that had struggles, but they're not my own experiences in that. I think I just haven't felt that I am a woman and I am displaced and I do this and that. You know, it has been like I open my own doors somehow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What is all kind of the a little bit complicated part of being a woman is just the society in itself, you know, and the mindset behind that and how we are brought up. Because I come from Chile, which is a very Catholic Christian background, a lot of religion, and women are said as, you know, a second-hand human. Just like that, you know. And it's not so strange, you know, like we see this in a lot of cultures. And I think that's kind of the most problematic part, because it's not about, the opportunities that are out there, especially in game industries, quite inviting, you know, but it is a lot of the personal that, can I do this? I cannot. Am I worthy enough? Or, you know, it starts to come up other kind of monsters in your head instead of that. But yeah, this is just my experience. And I guess because I've been a little bit outside of the industry for such a long time, I didn't really see how bad could be, you know, and how, like it was difficult to enter certain parts for other people that I know, because it's so close with the men, you know, like, but this happens in almost all industries, if we are honest, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's kind of my struggle has been more psychological and cultural than the game industry in itself.
Yeah, because we as women, we struggle with a lot of obstacles that the society puts us in, right? And we have to deal with it. And we also come through some traumatic experiences sometimes. And yeah, it all really influences the way we think and the way, if we become creators, the way we create it.
Yeah, exactly. That's always in the back of the head somehow, you know. So it's nice to go, I think, into that and realize that society is just a made up thing, you know, and we have the power right now to do whatever we want. And every little opportunity we got, or any tiny tool that we have for being creative, it's ours to master, and nobody can say anything about it.
Yeah, that's the spirit, right?
Yeah.
And if we talk about the inspiration, could you please tell us, how did you come up with the idea to create Fran Bow and Little Misfortune? Maybe were there any personal experiences that influenced it?
Yeah, I can start with Fran Bow. And Fran Bow, it's a lot of my own journey to kind of heal what we are talking about, you know, this social paradigms and this kind of stop that there's in the heart somewhere, like or the mind that it's just too sometimes very heavy and all these traumatic events. And yeah, I've been through some traumatic events in my life. I've been into therapy, so now I'm very good. I don't feel like, I mean, there's pain still in certain other things, but it's just the relationship that I have now with all these traumatic events. I think thanks to Fran Bow that I gave myself this experience to create it. It opened up a lot of doors, and I just take from personal experiences and what I see of the world, and I just bring it into the story somehow. People that I meet along the way, they sometimes end up in the games as well, but like more of the what did I learn from this person or what this experience was about, very abstract, an abstraction from the experiences in themselves. And and then mixing it up with a lot of fantasy stuff, and I love to go into my more childish brain, if we could say that, because it's so free and so it just wants to play with the ideas, and I love that space just to go wild with it, and I love it. And then yes, later on you edit a little bit, but in the creative process, I allow myself very much, and I think that's for me like it's like flowing on this idea. So that's kind of my process in itself. Yeah, inspiration comes from everywhere. Just keep an eye open for the now. It really gives you a lot.
And it was the same for Little Misfortune, right? The same.
Yeah, for Little Misfortune, we did have a little different approach with Isaac because he also wanted to be more active in the writing there, and that gave us the opportunity to write also about his experiences and mix it up a little bit more. So it was interesting to work like that as well. And just because he went more into the writing, it became a lot more, humoristic and a little bit more in that regard. I'm more of a poetic creative. I mean, I have the very dry humor, I guess, but it gets you can tell a little bit of the difference just because of that, and it's beautiful. I love that a creative thing can take another shape because just another person also puts more of themselves.
Yeah, the jokes were just amazing in Little Misfortune. They were just
so dark.
Black humor sometimes, but it was just fun. And as for the inspiration, what do you think is the best way for you to find the inspiration if you lack it? And maybe what strategies do you use to overcome the creative blocks when you have them?
Yeah. What I've learned with the years is that this creative block, it's not creative block really, or at least for me, it's not that I don't come up with ideas. There's like ideas everywhere, and I think it's more about oneself, that it's you come into a very uncomfortable moment in the creative process in which you have to make something that it's more difficult for you or different than what you have been done before. So it's just fear to go forward or just to actually put this thing in the story, so when I come to that moment, I just stop. I don't do anything. I allow myself to be in that uncomfortable kind of emptiness that you feel. It's like this anxiety, some sort of what am I gonna do? So like I say, I just stop and I just stay with that feeling, and I don't go to the phone and start looking at other things. I am with myself, because that's the key, that's kind of the key there. don't run to other things, because then you're gonna feel like you're procrastinating or such. Just stay with your damn feeling because it's uncomfortable. And once you can see yourself that, oh shit, this is actually, I don't know, I am afraid of writing the next part, or I don't know where to start. It's just too overwhelming. I just stay with that feeling, and then I remember about the fun. If you're not having fun, it's because you're overthinking. It's because you're not allowing yourself to just be creative. And you can always edit later on, you know, but get something out there, because that little uncomfortable feeling is just, it can do that you at the end don't do anything, you know. I don't go forward with this project or so. And also that silence between in you can tell you, is this really something that I want to do? If it's not, it's okay also, you know. It's about finding the truth for yourself in that moment. But yeah, it's so much about that fear of what I do next is gonna be good enough, and this overthinking that really kills the creative flow. Like it's just the opposite of creative.
Because you're afraid that you wouldn't create something good enough that was maybe created before, and you are too afraid to disappoint maybe people. Yeah,
it comes so much of those talks in the head, you know, like, and it really stops you. It makes you paralyzed. So that's what I think the block is. It's not just creative. Because when you remember why you're doing this and why it's so fun, then it goes quite so easily, right? I mean, it's like, it just starts flowing. And I think understanding that, and we all people work a little bit different, right? So it's very personal to understand, where am I losing this fun, this flow, or, you know, any of that sort. And when the brain is just too much in the head, it's like you're not feeling what you're creating. You're just outside of it, and you're just more worried about the outcome than the process in itself.
Yeah, that's right. And the next question, it's quite controversial because it's connected with AI and artificial intelligence. And what is your attitude towards AI as a creator? And do you think that it destroys the creativity? Because I see a lot of creators going against it, and they say that it kills it. And what is your opinion towards it?
Well, yeah, it's very interesting, and also it's such a new tool. That's the thing. We're gonna build up our opinions about it based on very little information and actually what it does. I feel like whatever you do with AI, it's kind of dead. It's kind of meh. It's very repetitive, and it's quite, I mean, if you look at pictures, they all look super polished, and it's just fake. But I also believe that it could kind of ignite some kind of inspiration. I don't feel like it's just black and white. And like I said, it's such a new tool. What it worries me most is the amount of energy that it takes in nature. It's kind of, I'm not so concentrated in the creative thing, because creativity is about play, and you can use all the tools that you need to just go for it, you know. Then there's other moral stuff, which is, am I gonna take all the credit just putting some words in a program that I tell them, oh, okay, do me a night picture or whatever. Is it really me, my experience expressing? It's not, you know. So I don't take it too seriously in that regard. It's really just machines putting stuff together, and I find the technology in itself quite amazing. And it's kind of, it's incredible the amount of things that you can do. And also, like I said, it's just, if you enjoy the process as a creative person, then the AI, it's not for you, really. You know?
It's useless, right?
I have tried a little bit of some of music making and some of art, but like I said, I find it quite bland, like it's just, it doesn't have this connection to the experience of a creative person, which is
right.
the beauty of it, But yeah, like anything, it's just, for me at the moment, as I see it, it's so new. I just can see it as a tool if you need it, But like I said, it worries me more about the amount of energy, but and I think we need to use it wisely, and if we're gonna use it, because I don't want to see more wood taken down because of making an ugly picture.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And as for the musical project that you have, it's called Screen Kid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And could you please tell us a little bit about it and what was the idea behind it? Because I haven't found any interviews with you talking about this project. Could you please tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, of course. This project was born mostly of the curiosity of just doing music. I've been doing music since I was very young, played the guitar and such, but never really made an album or something more professionally recorded. And I just wanted to do that, and also as a summer project with my siblings. And we had fun. We just spent a few days recording, and that was the thing. And I wrote the lyrics, and it's very connected to the generational trauma where I come from. If you read between the lines, it's a lot about the war. And like I said, I come from Chile, and in Chile there was in the 70s this war in there with political stuff and such, and there was a lot of pain. I mean, like generational pain, troubles, through the years and all. And I felt like because of society can be harmed by the fear of war and the political views and all that, it was interesting to write about it. And I realized that it came a lot of very harsh music, like very, and I think that's it. I just wanted to express somehow that part of me, and the experience of feeling alienated from very young, like I don't belong in this world. And now I realize it's not about not belonging in the world, it's about not belonging in a culture or a society that is imposed. But I feel very connected to nature, to humans, so when you can see that difference, I was very mind blown, and that's why I wanted to portray it somehow in music. But yeah, since I do games, I don't have much time to go deeper in other kind of side projects, But it means a lot to me, and it was very beautiful that my siblings and I could create this together. So yeah, it's more about it's kind of a political love letter to my family and those people around me that somehow I might have hurt because of my traumas and such, because it's also connected there, So yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to let it out somehow.
Yeah, I really love how art helps us to deal with all these traumas that we have, and with all the anger, maybe the pain. We can put it into some form of art, right? The poems, maybe the music, and it helps us to overcome this pain and all the struggles that we have. It's just the amazing ability of art.
Yes, exactly. And I think art has, is about the expression of you and whatever you have inside and carry with you. I think it's very worth it to express it to others and just share the experience somehow, And the beauty about art is also that the one that observes it or listens to it or whatever is just builds another one for themselves, right? So cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really love all the creators and all the art. It's just every form of it. It's just mind blowing. And do you have maybe any special rituals that you maybe go through in order to get into the creative mood, or it just happens?
No. I do believe a lot in the rituals because they connect you to the mindset. Sometimes it does happen. Oh, I got an idea, so I write it down. That's one of the rituals I always have with me. Something to write on, like can be a little block or whatever. Always a pen or always a block. And then but when I have to produce for the game, it's just very clear. Like I have a few things that I want to achieve that day, very clear, and that's all that I need, and a few hours. I just nothing else is important in that moment. Really just put the boundaries. I call myself that I go in a boat trip, I'm not available. I'm
It's a great metaphor.
yeah. And because I don't know if you knew this, but we had a bigger team before.
Yeah.
About 14 people, and I didn't have any moment to just be myself, creative. I was being a boss, and that is not what I want to do. That is not what it gives me energy, and then I learned so much about putting the boundaries. Nothing is more important in that moment that what you want to achieve. And it takes, you have to do it and do it and do it, and find your mindset there. Like what is I put music, really important to help me to get into some kind of emotional state. It helps
The
a
right
lot.
state of
Yeah, and then just a few, and if I have, completely blank in the is a new chapter of the thing or whatever it is, it's always scary. But I sometimes when I don't know how to start, I just write whatever it comes to mind that has to do with this, right? It can be things that I thought of writing at the end, or something else from another part of the game that I would like to add. It doesn't matter, because then when I come to that point that the boat is very far away from the shore, I realize, I'm here. Okay, now I got it. So it's just a lot of mental work somehow there, finding your spot. Before I had this other space where it was a little house in a very open area that I went there mentally, and just, okay, I'm here. But now I feel like I needed to go even more far away because there's so much going on sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, I also like to listen to music when I create, because the certain song or maybe the certain instrumental, it just gets you into a certain state of mind, and you just go with the flow and start creating.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it activates the body in it's so much vibrations and up and downs and all that. So yeah, it gets really easy to connect with yourself when you're somehow there with the music.
Yeah, as for the next question, it's connected with the monetization, because as you know, it's a lot of artists go through a lot of struggling connected with monetizing their work. And maybe do you have any advice that you would give the artists who are struggling with monetization of their work? And how do you keep your motivation high during these challenging times? Because it's really easy to give up.
Yeah, it is. I think there's two things that comes again with the society thing. Sometimes we want to have the solution very quickly, and that also can demotivate us. And sometimes we forget that artists, we need a journey. We need to know who we are as an artist. And I know that it is a process, because that's what had happened to me. I mean, I'm 39 years old now, and I'm kind of now understanding what I am. And I've been doing this a long time. But if I go a long time back in the when I I didn't have Killmonday, for example, I did have struggles monetizing my stuff. I did music videos and I painted some normal paintings, like on canvases. But I couldn't live off that, because it was very like moments that was able to make something like that. And so for me, my journey has been have a normal job on the side. I started cleaning hotels. I have been working on cafes. I haven't had jobs that are anyhow connected to a title or anything. No, just bringing money to my everyday, while I still develop my own art and my own sense of knowing myself also. Because if you just go after and try to do something that looks like somebody else's, that's not you. That's the cruel reality. That's not you. I've been there a long time in many aspects. Even after creating Fran Bow and Little Misfortune, I've been struggling with understanding who the hell am I creatively, because I have this drive to do so many things, and that is confusing. But yeah, before making games, I was acting. I did some short films and commercials, and I was earning money there. And like I said, I worked with any kind of job that was available. And then when it hit with Killmonday and we released Fran Bow, that was the thing. I understood, okay, games are my jam, because it is really what I love to do. It mixes everything that I've been working before with, and that's my thing. And that generated the money with us not doing much effort more than the art in itself. It was the fans that shared the games, and that taught me that I think there's something there. If you're not earning money, it means something. It's like maybe you need to still keep going, keep finding yourself, your voice. And then I find like very young writers that they sell super good, and it's also that they found themselves quite early. For me, it came a little bit later in life, but it's okay. Like that is not a race. It's just that very open and wait, my dog woke up here. Hello, Kili.
Hello.
And it's like really giving yourself the space to grow as an artist, because I think money will come when you really find that thing that you don't need to worry about getting up and make the money. It's just you just go up and do the creative thing that you really want to do. And that takes time, and it's scary as fuck, because you don't know how you're gonna end up with. So it's important, I think, to have some kind of separation with the money and your work, and just work on yourself and your expression until things come. Because now we have internet, it's easier to share and get a lot of feedback and all that. But sometimes also that could be a problem to get the feedback, because if it goes, for example, if you have like an account on Instagram and you start to have a lot of followers because they appreciate your art, but then if you want to sell something, you don't sell anything. That's a very interesting thing that happens. And I think it's because what you're creating, it's something that it's not that special. It does remember them, maybe the fans, that this is something that makes me, it reminds me of something that I loved in childhood, and this is a more enhanced, but there's nothing that I really feel personally to help me grow or whatever. It's so much connected to that. I mean, art it has to help other people as well somehow, And I think the only way to achieve that is when you are really true to yourself and really can tell your story through your art, through your music or whatever. And yeah, I believe a lot about that, about finding just yourself and going your journey. Listen too much about what others says, you're gonna become nothing but yourself. It's not you. It's just a kind of a blown up idea of success, which is not really. It feels like a mask, you know. So yeah. Let me put the dog aside. And I have a little bit difficult talking about this because it is scary, and I've been through it, and I know how it feels like, feeling like you're not going anywhere. I've been there so many years, but that's the thing. If you really love to create, I think you're gonna keep going, even though if you have a side job that is not your main thing. But if you keep going, you're gonna find yourself. And sometimes also that's the thing. It could be that you are an artist and you do this and that, and sometimes you're gonna understand that maybe, for example, when I had more people at Killmonday, there was a part of me that felt, oh, I love to be like more of this, organizing things and actually making small projects happen. But in the long run, that really kind of dried me completely. You know, I was completely at the end. So I was starting to believe things about myself that weren't true. But it was a good experience to understand what I am not, you know? And the same thing had happened when I worked in cafes or so. I was like, oh, I love to do this. I love food, and I love one. And I also started to kind of, maybe I could do something in that regard more. But the art kind of brought me back to the track, you know. So I think it's something in us that we need to discover and to be very true to what we can do and who we are. When we reach that and we kind of separate from what everybody else think and what it is expected of an artist or whatever, I think you become so much more freer that what you create, it really is so authentic, and it doesn't really need to explain itself. It's just, wow, it happened. So yeah, but that's my experience, you know.
Your words really resonate with me because I'm at this stage at the moment because I do my normal job, and I have like late shifts, and after I come home I write something if I am not too tired. I also wake up in the morning, I study, I write something as well. Yeah, and it's just this cycle, and it can be really frustrating because you really feel stuck, that you just stay at the same place, and it's just, yeah, it's really scary to be at this stage. And I'm really looking forward when I just go to the state when I feel really comfortable about making art and also maybe monetizing it. Yeah.
And it's so funny that you say this, because I see you from the outside, you know, and I love to hear that you're going through this journey. It's gonna make you so friggin' strong, and it's gonna give you so much. But yeah, I understand that you're like, oh, I don't like it. But it's so beautiful, and I think just like that, if you find always your little moments to write and really connect to what you enjoy writing about, and because it doesn't need to be like, oh, I'm gonna be for myself one whole year to write a book. That's not necessarily the situation you're in. You need to work with where you are in.
Yeah, right.
And if you have these moments, and if you know, oh, for example, I love to go sometimes to a little cafe there's here, because it's very charming, and it's why, you know, it gets me somewhere. And when I go there, I do it because I need a change of scenery. I can't be in my computer, you know, like sometimes I need something else. And I think understanding that, oh, this really gets me going, or that, just connect to those spaces and do less of the things that you feel that don't work, you know, like a little bit more. Oh, today I tried this. This did really work. What was it? What was it? So pick up yourself. Where are things working better? And those that really drain you, just say bye. They don't work. Even if you heard somebody else say this works, it doesn't work for you. It's fine. Just find your own ways to get your flowers out. Like the creative blooming.
Yeah, because I think there is no like a universal success path, and you have to find your own art, your own path that you want to go with, and just to be yourself and to go through it.
Yeah. And I think that's also very scary because we are surrounded so much by, like just talking here. I'm sharing my experiences, but I'm telling you, this is just what happened to me, and like it doesn't need to be any kind of rule that you follow or anything. It's just the opposite. It's so much about to getting to know yourself. And I know it's like we do know who we are. It's just that we have put so many things on top. It's like more about taking off those things and just become that little blob that there's somewhere there that just wants to be itself and very happy with whatever it can achieve, because it's connected to that greatness of, oh man, I mean, we're not grateful many times of what we create, and we trash it, and we put ourselves very down sometimes when we don't achieve certain things, right? And I think that energy that we put to ourselves is also it's a bit destructive. It does takes away a lot of the energy that instead you could have if you work in the way that you enjoy, that you find, that you go forward. So it's a tricky thing, but I think we all can find it. It's just try more and play around with what you want to do.
Yes, so the most important thing is not to give up, guys. So keep
Exactly.
forward, keep going forward, keep creating. Yeah. We will be there for your routine.
Yeah, exactly. And it's important, like I said, just I think one important key there is also just, if something is not working, just be okay with it and just let it go. Find something new. I talk a lot about failing, and just this summer I made this music, and then I started to do some pottery as well and other projects, and everything has failed, like fail. But in the sense that it didn't come out like I expected or such, or I realized, oh, I'm such a noob in this. And it's also like, okay, but it also puts me in a perspective which I love. And it's that the world is so filled of stuff to try, and yeah, not all of them you're gonna be like a savant and success, and no, but it's nice to try and understand that some things are just there to give you an experience and have fun a little while by the process, and that's all, because maybe that it's giving you food for the other thing that you really are, better in quotes, or that you feel that you got it, because it's more like that. It's like, I got this, I know I'm good at this, and so it's kind of knowing also that what you suck at and what you're good at.
It all comes, it all comes with experience, and if you don't try things, you just wouldn't know. And
you just go around in the same pain, I think. I've been there like many years, and when I just realized that, oh, all right, it's so fun now that to start doing things, because I don't expect that it will become something. Oh no, it's just so fun to experience things and understand how the world works, and wow, there's so much.
yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for sharing and for saying these words because it really resonated with me, and I'm sure that it will resonate with all the viewers and all the listeners. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing it. Yeah, because it helps you to understand that you are not alone, and other people also had the same experience, the same struggles, and it really helps not to give up and to continue pursuing your dreams and doing what you do at the moment.
Yes, life is full of struggles and also very beautiful things. So it's kind of the dance. I think if we just okay with that, we can go a lot more freer forward.
It was the next question. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, movie, game, or maybe book character, who would it be and why?
Again, I didn't get the question.
Oh, sorry. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, maybe a movie, game, or book character, who would it be and why?
If I have a dinner, what is that?
A dinner, like you when you eat.
A dinner. Okay. Food. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. Can I do like a Frankenstein?
Yeah, anything you want.
There's like a lot of people that I would love to kind of go
You
back.
can name several if you want.
All right. I would love to meet Albert Einstein and Tesla. Like half of the brain from one and the half of the brain from the other. And then I would love to meet Tchaikovsky, which is the musician. And a little bit of Beethoven also, and Rembrandt, very classical characters, from history and the creative thing. And I would love to understand their mindset, like the more personal vibe of them. And also Dali, which is the painter. I would love to meet Madame Curie, which is also scientist and woman, and I mean, she died by her own experiments, which is crazy. And man, it's really a Frankenstein, this one. And then the Lewis Carroll, which is the writer of Alice,
Right.
and I think, man, there's a lot of guys in there, but yeah, it's like it tells us a lot about the history of art, right? And it's crazy. And this writer Angelo, the poet, and oh man, there's so many. It will be like a banquet. This one, we had like questions for everybody to answer. It's I think all the humans that have been through our history that has created things. Oh yes, and Carl Jung. I love the philosophy behind and the psychology behind there. Like, yeah. But there's so many people that somehow, I feel like the creative part of us as humans is also so connected to technology and understanding of the body and the sciences and all that. And I think it's just so unbelievable how we have progressed right through history. If we look at all it's like people just experimenting with their stuff, and some of them going crazy, and some of them, doing things that just stay for years. Like just Lewis Carroll that wrote Alice. That story keeps creating new stories that are done today. It's just too crazy, and that's the thing. Why this happened with certain creations. I think we when we make them our own, somehow they keep just flowing through time.
Yeah, their art is immortal. Yeah,
exactly. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I think I would have like this mix of people just trying to share some food. That's it. I understand that look up to people. For me, it's more it's not look up. It's just I feel it like we are the humans that we create stuff. What it's marvelous about it is just that some of them have, I think, connected to something greater than just the outside and the society they have just allowed them to be wild, and I think that's what makes them so exceptional. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. A real Frankenstein of all the creative people.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie Substance that came out?
Oh, I really want to watch it, but I just
Ah.
hadn't gotten time. Have you watched it? What is your opinion about it?
Yeah. I think it has so many things from older movies that are, very classical, and it made it its own with its own story. But yeah, at the end there's some love thing that's what I wanted to refer to. The one that I will be eating with it would look like that. A love of meat.
Right. And as the last part of the podcast, I prepared like a little game that is called This or That. So it will be like a quick choice of certain things. So the first one, morning inspiration or late night creativity?
Early. Yes.
Yes, for me, late night. I get like in the chaos of creating stuff, but I like to edit the stuff that I wrote in the morning. Music or silence while working?
Music or?
Or silence while working?
It depends so much, but music to get something going. If I am stuck, silence is when I got it. I just want the silence. I want just to hear the story. I want to be with the characters. So it depends.
By the way, I really loved, and I really love, still love listening to Little Misfortune soundtrack while studying. So, do you know like these charts at the end of the year that you get? For example, what was the most played song in the playlist? Yeah, so I got the playlist of Little Misfortune soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you about it.
So I just love listening to the music while working and also while studying as well. Collaborating with others or solo projects?
It depends as well. I love to co-work, and if there's this flow, like we kind of build up on each other's ideas. I think that's so fun and it works. But then there's very difficult to do that with anybody. There needs to be some kind of mindset that's quite alike. And then solo stuff, I love to, and I think it's about this going into yourself and wander there and just be with yourself somehow. So depends. Yeah.
Adventure or routine?
Routine first. It does give me some sort of it helps to take the first steps. Then adventure when you're getting tired of the routine. So it's a play with both of the sides. Yeah.
Theater or film?
I love film a lot. There's such you can do so much with it, But theater has this. You are breathing the same air, in the room, and
it's happening at the same time as you're in the audience. Yeah, it's just a unique experience.
Yeah, it's completely different experiences. So I think both are very inspiring in a way.
Traveling for inspiration or staying local?
Mostly local. I love to wander around and just find these things that you just give for granted, and stand there and look at them. Even here, very close my home, there is like this group of birds that do kind of a flying routine that I've been following for months. And I just stand there and like, well, I love that. I love to see how nature works and all that. But I love to travel as well to, mostly architecture or nature and other spaces is very inspiring as well. But I do a lot less that of traveling.
And what countries would you like to visit?
I don't know. I just don't have like a specific. I think every space on Earth has something to be wow by, you know. So wherever the day takes me, or you know, like, oh, would you like to go there? Okay, you know, like I don't have really, but there's always this pressure, I guess, from knowing a little bit more about the Asian countries, since I've been too much Europe and Latin America. So there's like this curiosity about that space as well. But it's not like, oh, it's my dream or anything. We'll see what if it happens someday.
Yeah, I'd really love to come to Sweden one day to meet you in person, guys. I hope that it will happen in the future.
Yeah.
And as for the last this or that question, art gallery or concert?
Art gallery or concert?
What would you choose?
I choose art gallery first. I love the slow pace of going through a gallery and just, you know, taking your time and such. But it also depends on the gallery. Some things are more exciting to me than others, of course. And then at concerts, I love it if it's, you know, like some artists that I really, really enjoy. But
could you share what musical artist would you like to see live?
Oh, I've seen Pixies and The Cure. I don't know more. Cat. There's a lady. Her name is Cat or something like that. It was a long time ago. I haven't been to concerts since kind of like a few years now, if I'm honest. I think the crowd, you know, like too much people, it does makes me overwhelmed, and I realize that it's not too much of my cup of tea now. But when I was young, I went to, you know, punk stuff and very dancing in the middle and being very aggressive with the dancing. So I experienced that. But now it's like, it's enough. Yeah. Have you been to a concert lately that you really
No,
enjoyed?
but I would really love to go. I've been planning to go to a K-pop concert. Are you into K-pop or not? Because it's really
no, not really.
you're not a
It's like I don't know. I just listen to whatever it feels right in the moment. I don't know. I don't have like a very specific.
Yeah, because one person wanted to ask you the question if you are into K-pop. They were really curious about it. Yeah. So you just go. You just.
I feel very ignorant when it comes to K-pop music. Really, like I have no idea. If I hear something that makes me dance, or you know, I don't put them in categories or genres or something. I just go for it. I love to dance. The other day I just came across, I mean, this is an oldie one. There's a movie that I love as a child. It was a musical, The Easter Parade it's called. Man, I put their music and I started to dance like a man. But yeah, it's like certain moments in your life, certain things will trigger you, and that's how I listen to music.
Yeah, I watched. I don't know why it just came randomly into my mind, but I remember the movie The Labyrinth. Have you watched it with David Bowie? It's like the musical movie.
I think I've seen that. Yeah, like a long time ago.
Also, I really enjoyed it. The songs and just the chaos that happened there. It was a lot of fun.
Weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the end of the podcast, and thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Monika podcast, and it was absolutely fantastic to hear your thoughts and to for you to share your experience, both creative and also just personal stuff. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it and I wasn't too awkward here,
No,
because it's my
not at all.
first.
I love it. It was very. I love your energy, Diana. It's kind of super chill. I love it.
Thank you very much. So is for the viewers. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can share your comments down below. How did you like it? And maybe any thoughts that you would like to have about our new guests. And also, before we wrap up, do you have any exciting announcements that you would like to tell us about, Natalia? Or maybe any upcoming projects that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers?
I can share a little bit. We have been working with Isaac now a whole year in a new project. After we decided to redo the Killmonday structure, and we just came to realize that we wanted to do games, just the two of us in the core, and then later on to hire maybe freelancers and such to help us finish, the more. But now we have been working a whole year, like every day, and I'm so hyped to share the new stuff. But I can't really tell you what it is. And this comes from a thing that I realize. We are very hyped all the time to show what we're doing, and you have been through with us a lot of things that haven't worked, and I feel like more we share about the very new stuff that we create and realize that, this is not going to work, then it feels very awkward to have hype our fans or about something that it doesn't gonna happen. So for respect to that, I feel like it's better to wait until we have something more yummy, like more concrete to show.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we are really looking forward to whatever you are creating and whatever comes. Yeah, we're really excited. Yeah, so I will share all the social media that you have, both your pages and also Killmonday pages in the description. Yeah, and this is all for today. And maybe can you say goodbye in the Little Misfortune voice for our listeners and viewers?
Alright, I'm gonna say goodbye to you and to Diana and to our friends. So yeah, bye bye.
Yeah, bye. Keep creating and have a wonderful time.